All right, everyone. The other day for Halloween, JD Vance gave us a treat. Yes, he went for Halloween as himself, as reimagined by that failed leftist meme, the meme that launched 1,000 counter memes with, the bloated JD Vance with the weird curly sort of semi-afro hair. Yeah, that's basically what he went for as Halloween. And I'm McLovin. This is exactly what we need. And I would be quite surprised if he didn't get elected president after Donald Trump is no longer in office. It appears that Trump and Vance have a similar sense of humor. Like you have the AI Trump meme with him dumping shit on Harry Sisson and wearing a crown, sort of leaning into the idea that the left has gone deranged. They believe that Donald Trump is going to crown himself quite literally and become literal emperor. They took the meme a little bit too seriously. So Donald Trump decided to literally take a dump on them with exactly the same meme. JD Vance is now doing the same thing, leaning into it instead of getting offended or saying like I don't look like that and stuff like he's like, oh ha ha ha, this is funny. How can I make this meme mine? They've already given me fodder. They've already given me an idea. Well, why don't I just fucking steal it, the left can't meme anyway because they never make any sense. The memes, the caricatures that are drawn by people on the left wing of politics, of other people, usually are a pile of bullshit. The best thing you can do if you get memed on is to lean into it because it becomes fucking funny. It's not funny because the meme itself is funny. The meme is the meme, quite literally. It's almost memeception or something like that. I'm assuming that the Buddhists have some ancient text on this particular subject. Uh, because the caricatures that they make, Donald Trump is basically, he's circular, orange, and poops himself. Ta-da, that's basically all he does. Also, he wants to be king. So what does he do? He crowns himself in an AI video and then shits all over everyone. Well, there's a reason why the particular meme was designed in that fashion. It's to screw with people's brains, and it appears to have worked. It's not hard to screw with the brains of people that are on the far left anyway, but it's still amusing to do so. JD Vance is depicted as being a bloated, I don't exactly know what the point of the original meme was. I guess just bloated and insane. Sort of like a big retarded man baby or something. So he's like, hey, I'll dress up as that for Halloween. That sounds pretty fun. I'm having a very, very good time with the current administration. By the way, I would prefer that JD Vance is considerably better than the vice president was in Trump's first term. Mike Pence, nobody even remembers him. Nobody gives a fuck. JD Vance will be remembered. He's actually doing a good job. Also, I've noticed something else. To be a little bit less flippant for a moment, I've noticed something else. Most vice presidents are relatively absent, relatively quiet. Basically, they exist to deliver a tie-breaking vote in the Senate once in a while. Otherwise, basic bitch diplomacy and stuff like that. Vance is not doing that. So, like, Kamala, she was a no-show. Borders are that visited the border like one time for a photo op. Mike Pence, quiet and just sort of in the background. Nobody really cares. And this has happened over and over and over again. Look at Al Gore, for example. Most of the time, the vice president's in the background. Now, though, is the era of social media politics. Politics is now more about memes, AI, social media, and smartphones than anything else. This is how you convince people of a platform. This is how you spar. It's sort of an offshoot of classic debating style. In the old days, people would debate literally on soapboxes. That's why soapbox speech is a term within the English parlance. They would sit on street corners and yell at each other and stuff like that. When people say politics has become immature, it was never mature. It never will be mature either. It's pretty much impossible. We're in the era where knowing how to use AI, knowing how to make funny memes and stuff like that is almost as important as actually having a comprehensive ideology. some of those ideologies being better than others. And certain people are better at making memes, at making jokes than others. You have to have a good sense of humor. Like, for example, when somebody makes like, some sort of cartoon about me, I'm going to lean into it. I find it hysterical when people ridicule me. Self-deprecation is, by the way, one of the greatest forms of humor, and everyone should be able to do it. But the memes, I literally wrote a book on the subject. Memes mainly come from the right wing, the viral ones, the ones that work because it's less organized. If you need a focus group in order to make a meme, that's probably a problem. Think of Elizabeth Warren's meme team for an example. Yeah, we spent hundreds of thousands of dollars. We made a picture. Wow, that's really incredible. It's also very efficient, and it obviously won over many voters. It's not the way that it works. JD Vance, meanwhile, will say, ha ha ha, and they're calling me ugly. Well, I'm wearing the ugly costume for Halloween. That's going to be hysterical. He gets more engagement from having done so than all of the left-wing memes, the original ones, combined quite easily. Not to mention the auxiliary sort of effort, the diaspora of that particular meme, which he has now perpetuated even further. I find it hysterical. I really, really like the AI one. My favorite is the one where there's like the sad classical music in the background and this Hagrid Ash JD Vance is staring solemnly into the window. No, I find that one the funniest. The one with the dance club is pretty funny too. So the people that are making these, there's some talent that's involved with this because it's like the ultimate form of humor at this point. And Vance realized that. He could have done what a classical politician would have done. I don't look like that. Fucking cut it out and gotten offended and stuff like that. Like that's what they want. They want to offend you. They want you to react negatively because then they get a lot of attention. But if you steal the meme, own it, now it's yours, you get all of the attention. Vance appears to understand this. That's why Vance has pretty much secured my vote for 2028, assuming that he chooses to run. He's done much like with several others in the administration, including Rubio, by the way. I wish Rubio would get into this sort of thing. He leaned into it. He's showing that he understands modern social culture. He's intelligent and he's generally doing a good job. So yeah, some people had a problem with him at first. Well, JD Vance is going to be a traitor and stuff like that. No, no, he's become a meme lord, actually. I'm finding this hysterical. We may get yet another 4 years of epic memes. Sounds like fun to me. Let's see what happens. That's about all. Peace out.